Hey everybody, welcome back to Ogre Speed Shop. So I just got back from a 4-hour endeavor. 2 hours one way, 2 hours back to kind of get the GMC moving forward a little quicker. And this is what happened. This is what I got. I picked up the front half of this truck. It's a 4-wheel drive. So it has a transfer case, transmission, and a supposedly somewhat built motor that's the people that I bought it from said they wish they could have used it for something, but his girlfriend wrecked his truck. So, you know, that's the way it goes. So I'll tell you more about it, how much I paid for everything later on, but this is what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna start tearing this thing apart to get it ready to go into that one. So we can get it in there. And of course it's a 98, so won't be able to run a normal fuel pump, so I have to do an electric fuel pump, but it's all good. We'll figure it all out, and I'll probably do a carburetor on it because I don't want to try to get the, I guess I could get the fuel injection running, but I don't know yet. So the plan for doing this, we're going to cut everything off that we can cut it off to get basically the rest of the cab gone, so I can get down to just the engine and transmission, and then just lift it right up out of there with the transmission, transfer case, everything all together. This is a 4-wheel drive, so it's kind of cool. And luckily I had some wheels that would fit, 6-lug. But so I'm gonna take everything off of it I can. We might try to get it running while it's on the frame still, on here, just to see and hear it run. I kind of had a wild harebrained idea. This is 4-wheel drive. The 4-wheel drive controls in there, and I got an extra one over here that I found. I wonder if we could get it running, put it in a 4-wheel drive and drive it around like this. That might be something we try. Maybe we'll try driving around. I'm gonna cut everything off of it still. Get most of the floor gone, or most of this, everything off of here. But yeah, yeah, I think we're gonna try to drive it like this, just for shits and giggles. So anyways, like I said, I'm gonna start tearing everything off here that doesn't need to be on here. And like all the AC hoses can come off since they're already cut. And get all that stuff off there. Just get everything off that doesn't need to be on here. And then we'll figure out what we do need. Like we don't need the hood latch anymore. But we got all the computer, everything's there. So we should be able to make it run. Hopefully. So I'll be back when I get some stuff torn off of it. So I've been working on this thing pretty much all day, just removing stuff. Like I'm trying to take apart as much as I can in one piece. So I got most of the interior wiring harness out. The lighting harness is somewhere around here too, so where did I put it? So this is, I put it up front. So that's all the lighting harness. Everything from the engine is disconnected as far as wiring goes, but it can easily be plugged back in. The problem I'm going to run into is they tore up the steering column and the wires, a couple of wires coming out of that. So I'm going to have to hot wire some stuff to get the thing actually to run. But that's not a big deal. Just need some 12 volts and some grounds and we should be good. But can't remember if these have VATs. I'll let you know when I find out. If they do, then that's a whole nother problem. But anyways, so this is where we're at. The engine could easily come out right now. Like everything, like I said, everything is disconnected. And I'm just trying to get everything out so I can start cutting this up and getting ready to scrap everything. So I can get all this crap out of here and just have the motor and transmission ready to go. Transmission transfer case, that'll come off. Probably put the 300 or the 350, turbo 350 behind this engine. Probably gonna carburate it, get rid of the fuel injection. But I don't know, we'll see. It all comes down to what we can do to make it run. So that's where we're at on that. And I'll come back. I didn't get a chance to record a lot today because I was also helping my wife's friend who's moving to Ohio, coming through here from San Diego. And I had to fix her truck so she could drive it easier, better. And but anyways, that's a whole different story. I'm getting on the squirrel kick here. So, but anyways, that's where we're at. Got a lot done. I get the carpet out. I got to get the seat belts out in the middle there so I can pull the rest of the carpet out because it's just full of crap and glass and stuff. So I'm trying to maintain it in the carpet. That way I can just toss it all at once and get rid of it that way. But yep, we're almost there. Next thing we're gonna do is pull this carpet out of here. And if you want a neat little trick that works to collect all the stuff that might be stuck in the carpet, just kind of fold it up into the middle like that, and on all corners, and it'll put it right in the middle of the carpet. That way you can take the whole thing out and be done with it. Well, I noticed the transmission was leaking because the output shaft is out of it right now. So I decided to jack it up and level it out a little bit to try to eliminate that problem. Probably won't, but it doesn't really matter. It's not a whole lot. It's not a very good color either, but anyways. This thing's got, if I remember right, 200-some thousand miles on it. I don't know. There's some famous truck that went around Oklahoma. It's a famous bent truck. So I don't know the whole deal on it, but hopefully the motor runs. If not, I got parts I can sell off to make the money back on it. Like I said, I'll tell you about that. And it's already basically cut up for me. So I'm gonna cut up some more of it, and that's what we're gonna do right now. Since I got everything out of it that can fly around, I'm gonna start cutting and getting some of these parts off of here. There's the first chunk out. Cut that out over there. It's got a little bit more to cut on this side. There's a frame right underneath here that you gotta go through, which is kind of kicked my butt there for a minute, but get this side off, and then we'll come back and see what else we gotta cut off. There you go. Entire back half of it's gone now. And I found the famous bent truck portion of it right there. So that frame right there is pretty tweaked. But got that much off now. Like I said, I kind of want to see if I can make this drive like this. So I'm going to cut as much off as I can, but leave all the steering stuff in there, but try to keep some kind of support. That's why I cut it back to the cab mounts right here. So I'm not going to cut out the middle there, leave the side. I might just cut out this whole side here. We'll leave the front here, leave that mount right there, and just kind of cut around it. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out though. I don't want that whole piece gone though. Well, we got a little bit more of a cutout. Part of the firewall and this whole rocker. So I got to do the other side, but still trying to leave all that in there. I don't know if I'm gonna get it running or not because it's TPI, or what's it called? TBI, throttle body injection, and it's got a VATS on it, so I'm not sure if I could bypass that or not. But we'll figure out something. So I got this side cut down now too, but I don't think I can go any more because check this out. Ouch, that was a piece of glass stuck in my finger. But anyways, yeah, it's if we're gonna try to drive it like this, I gotta leave something in place, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it like that. Plus it keeps the booster in place and everything. And I gotta get that piece of glass out of my finger now. But it happens, especially when you're tearing apart cars like this. Well, the likelihood of getting this thing running and driving like this is pretty slim now. The shifter just broke off, as you see, it's gone. Now I can still move that lever. Problem is it's disconnected from the bottom, and I don't know if it's disconnected from underneath there for ease of operation or if it broke off of there. So I can still shift it. I could cut a hole and reach down there and shift it if I really want to. But right now I'm trying to figure out the ignition, and they had cut all the wires from that, and with the VATS, yeah, it's gonna be a pain in the butt, but I'm working on it. So I decided to pull the whole steering column out, trying to figure out how the switching works. And I found that's part of the ignition switch. It's all broken and busted up. You can see where they just annihilated that to, I don't know, break it loose. But what I did find, I went online to see what this ignition switch looks like, and this is actually it right here. So it goes from here to this plug over here, and that's your actual ignition switch. So if we can make that work to turn it over, then we should be good. I'm not sure what those wires are for. I think those are probably the, yeah, those are lighting. So your turn signal switch, I think. So I don't know, we'll figure it out, see if we can get it to run the way it is. You know, maybe it was just starter fluid or something. Just something poured down the yap up there, and that's about it. I don't know. Definitely ain't gonna be able to drive it though. Just, there ain't enough of it. So I'll probably just tear it all the way down, get all the body off of it, and then just get it running from there and pull it out of the frame and get all the good stuff off of it. But, it was a good idea, just not practical. And who knows, maybe I get the body off of it and I'll be able to put a seat on the frame and do it. I don't know, we'll figure it out though. So we got everything off of the cab area, the floor, the firewall, whatever you want to call it. So, and I unbolted all the cab mounts. So this should be able to lift off now. So that's what we're gonna do. I don't know how much good it's gonna do. We're gonna throw this blanket down with the fenders, just to help kind of protect the trailer a little bit. Because I'm going this way with it to get it off there, so. See, how heavy is it going to be? Not too bad. I definitely wanted this documented though, just in case something bad happens. Like I end up under it or something. Lift it up over the transmission, so it's a couple of wires are there. Let me catch it on. So there's the rest of the cab. This is what it looks like underneath. I don't know why they cut that little bit of piece of pipe out on each side. So just leaving it there. Transfer case, transmission, engine. And there's the fuel lines I was looking at earlier. Cool. Now we can see stuff. Make it a lot easier to try to get it running. All right, so I've been playing around, trying to figure out what I need to do to get this thing running. And this is pretty much the wiring I came up with that is all that's needed really to start it. This is your ignition switch right here. The only thing that might cause a problem is the VATs, which I'm not sure is even here because the module wasn't with the truck. So, but we'll see what all we need from that when it comes time. But as of right now, I went to go, just figured I'd crank it over, hook the battery up, crank it over. Just to make sure we both oil pressure, and I bought an oil pressure gauge and everything. But the only reason I went to the store is because the starter ended up being bad. So I had to go buy a new starter. I needed it anyways because this is going to be what's going in the truck, the GMC. So did that, and also I'm going to replace the battery cable they had. I got a new battery cable because the one they had in here is somewhere around here. I just had it all right here. And it's a negative cable that doesn't even fit on the battery post. So I don't like mismatched colors. I like red being positive and black being negative. And even this cable probably needs replaced, but it's attached and it's got a negative battery cable, so I'm fine with that. And I was gonna use the one my friend Carol gave me to replace the one I put on her truck, but it doesn't have the nut or the bolt, so yeah. So let's get the starter put in. One good thing is getting the starter in. It's pretty easy with no body on here. First thing I do is there's a little heat shield that goes on it. Pop that on real quick. There we go, that's what you need. Has these little indentations on to go over the bolt for the solenoid, so cool. Put the battery cable on first. One of the things I always do is check the, make sure the inner nut is tight on these things. This is a 13 millimeter on here for the nut. I'll feed this up through here once I get it installed. Get this little view off here. All the instructions on how to do it, yeah. Still a lot of little chunks of glass from the cap being cut off this thing, and it likes to stick in my knees and stuff, so try to prevent that. It'd be easiest to. Okay, I just had to hold here when they go. Hurt them. Oh, it's stuck. Okay. Got me a fresh cut today too. So this is a starter wire, and repair that. That was just wrapped around the nut before, so it's actually pretty easy to reach back in here to get to everything. There's enough room to fit your hand if you're, even when you got big mitts like mine. Make sure the size is right. That's perfect. Trim off that horrible end. Strip her down. Some heat shrink. That's weatherproof stuff, marine stuff. It's really good deal. You get it at Harbor Freight. I think it was like, I can't remember exactly how much I have to look, but get a little container of a bunch of different sizes. The funny thing is I'll end up changing this anyways. I have my heat gun out here someplace. Oh, I see it. So this is a really nice heat gun I got from Harbor Freight too, the Bauer brand. They got a Hercules cordless one that I thought about getting, but it's like, how often do I need a cordless one? Most of the stuff I'm doing that requires heat shrink is usually in the shop. That's hot. What did I do? There they are. The starter wire is 8 millimeter. Or 5/16 would work too. It feels tight. All right, so now I can hook up a switch and see if she cranks. We'll hook up a oil pressure sensor first. See if we can get to it back here with this. Yeah, cool. It's side mounted, is it? I might need an adapter. This thing needs, does this need oil pressure? I think it does need oil pressure to run, which is why it's got 3 wires coming out of the sensor. But yeah, let's check it real quick. Check the oil. It's got oil in it. It's kind of nasty, but it's oil. It's got the consistency of old oil. Definitely change that out pretty soon. Okay, trigger wire's on. All right, we got her all ready to crank over. Got an oil pressure gauge hooked up. I'm just using the plastic line for test purposes only. Don't ever use the plastic line in a real world situation unless you have to get home with it. So it's just a temporary, the plastic is just temporary. It will melt, it will break, it will get bitter and crack. So don't use the plastic tube that comes with the gauges. But here we go. All right, so we got oil pressure. Oh yeah, transmission. Should probably put a hose around the transmission lines so they don't spray everywhere like they just did. Man. Well, more cleanup to do. But anyways, we got oil pressure now. So we're good to go as far as trying to start it up. So I gotta do some wiring, figure out some pins, do all that good stuff, and you know, the good old stuff that comes with fuel injection, trying to get everything to work right. And hopefully the VATS doesn't interfere. But that's a start. That's we got her cranking. And we got oil pressure, and obviously the transmission is spewing too. And that looks nasty. Hopefully, though, everything will be good. Now it's time to see if this thing will fire up or not. Don't have a fuel system yet, but it's a starter fluid. Yes, it's fuel injected, but that's okay. So get some power to it. My starter wires right here. Spray a little something, something. Yes! Got a running motor. That's almost good enough to not even worry about hooking up the fuel system, but I kind of want to hear it run a little bit longer. But that's cool. It runs long enough on starter fluid. Yes! All right, I'm happy now. We got this thing running. That is on the fuel injection. So that means everything's working the way it's supposed to as far as ignition. So if I just hook a fuel system up to it, I bought this little cheapo pump. Well, cheapo now for 60 bucks, but you know, I used to buy these things for like 10 bucks. But that shows the ignition system's working, and as far as good as it was running, it's missing one of the spark plug wires. So number one's actually missing, but still ran good. Got a vacuum leak too. I'm sure there's a couple more on there, but overall I'm happy with that. It's running, we know it's good, and now we can move on and start thinking about what we're gonna do to make it work in the GMC. So I think first things first, we're gonna pressure wash it though. Get this thing cleaned up so it'll be nice and ready to go in the truck. So the way I wired this up is real simple. I just, you basically just need the yellow and pink wire. That's your 12 volts to all the different things. Pinks are injectors, yellow's a couple other things. But you can see how it runs into the harness right there. But that's what gives you power to everything is the pink and yellow wire. There's an orange wire too, but that's all for lighting for the most part. And the red wire is your main power from the battery to the key, then everything else runs back to it. So I just put power to these two wires right here and hooked it to the main battery power right here. And my starter wires right here, because I bypassed the clutch master, so the clutch switch, or in this case, the neutral safety switch, bypassed all that. And just hooked right to the starter wire right there. So I could crank it just by touching it to power. And it's battery disconnected. But that's the actual starter relay right there that goes in that spot. And that's all I did. So power, and the grounds are already on the block. So the grounds run through the harness, you know, throughout the harness and attached to the block in different places. So those are all good. You don't have to worry about those so much like this. But that's all there is to it. So 12 volts, you know, 12 volts and grounds is all you need. And then fuel and air. And you can get pretty much anything running. All right, so I got this all cobbled together to see if it'll suck fuel. Go straight down in there, wired to the original wiring for the fuel pump. So let's see what happens now. Fuel pump's pumping. Trying to get fuel. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right, so it'll take fuel. Gotta do it one more time just to be sure, right? And we are still missing a spark plug wire, so That could be a reason why it's acting weird, the way it is. Oil pressure. Still dying out. Like I said, I think this thing actually needs to read oil pressure, and I get that unplugged right now. So that might be one of the reasons why. But she runs. No noises, no knocks, no ticks. I mean, it does have a misfire because it's missing a spark plug wire. But other than that, it's pulling fuel, and it's working. And it's firing up on its own. So we have a good motor engine. So now we can start worrying about putting it in here. Okay, I hooked the oil pressure sensor back up. I don't know if that's really going to make the difference or not, but we're going to try it. Get some power here. Loud noises. That was it. It needs oil pressure. So it's running. The VATs don't seem to be an issue. So heck yeah, man. Hoo-wee, that's cool. I think that's going to do it for this video. We've got a good running motor. Still having some issues as far as it staying running, but there's a lot of sensors that aren't hooked up, a lot of stuff that's not on there. The transmission's not wired in. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. So I think the next video we're going to clean it up. Get it stabbed into the GMC. I don't know yet if I'm going to try to get this fuel injection to run with it or if I'm just going to convert it to carburetor because I think I'd rather go carb. But we'll see. We'll decide when that comes around. But the next video will probably cover us getting this thing out of here, cleaned up, and at least the engine dropped in because that is a 4-wheel drive. And we can't really put that in a 2-wheel drive truck yet. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to end it here. So if you like this video, leave a like down there, leave me a comment. Let me know what I can do better, and subscribe while you're at it. It's free. What the heck? So this is a good step into the right direction, get the GMC going. So I appreciate y'all being here. So until next time, I will see y'all later. So if everybody's still here, a little bonus feature here. So a little story on the truck. I went on Facebook Marketplace. I've been looking for engines and everything for the GMC, and found this one. And when I found it, it looked like this. And then by the time I actually contacted the guy, went and looked at it, it looked like this. So overall, it was still the same price, but there's nothing off of it that was important. Basically, they just cut the cab up, which actually saved me the hassle of doing it because that's the same thing I would have done. And considering scrap values around here aren't very much, I'm not losing much money on it. So I don't even care about really the scrap value of it. That's all I wanted was the engine, and we know that works now. So I paid $350 for what's left of this truck. So I got the motor, which we know is good now, so that it easily pays for the, covers that $350. It also has a 4L60E 4-wheel drive transmission with the transfer case on it. And of course the front differential as well. So I got extra parts I can make money on if I really want to. So just a little background on where this came from and how I got it. And, but yeah, it was like I had to drive 2 hours to pick it up, but who cares? It was worth it. And I'm happy that motor runs and sounds as good as it does, even on 7 cylinders since it's missing that one spark plug wire. But if you made it this far, thanks again, and appreciate you watching.